On November 11th, 2020, I uploaded Silver Fang vs Darkshine, claiming Darkshine would annihilate Fang. On May 2nd, 2021, I uploaded How Powerful is Superalloy Darkshine, where I said he would beat up every cadre, almost every S-class, and the Monster King himself. Yeah, that didn't age well. Since that video, Darkshine's stock has dropped like a rock in a lake, as shortly thereafter he got stomped by Vomit Fear Ugly and Golden S in quick succession. He seems to have fallen short from the hero known for having the greatest defense. But was all that hype just empty hype? Like I said, back in the day I would claim Darkshine could solo Fang, Orochi, all the cadres, and that he's basically a god. I know that sounds surprising, but you'd honestly be surprised by just how many people who actually scaled the series in depth thought this, and actually to this day still think this. The video just honestly aged poorly as we got new information, and I think if you look at the videos at the time they were released, that being right before Fang fought Garo, they mostly still hold up. Regardless, this updated video will hopefully show you guys Darkshine is still a lot stronger than you guys think. Darkshine is strong. Like, really strong. Yeah, he's an S-class hero, but Darkshine is depicted as cartoonishly powerful. He's shown to be so tough that monsters explode just by touching him, and he barely even notices debris falling on top of his head. It's stated that the Deep Sea King, the head honcho of Season 1 who shrugged off a point-blank incineration cannon from Genos, would be turned into paste by a light touch. Even top-tier demon-level monster Bug God gets popped like a water balloon by a jab from Darkshine. Bug God's carapace being so tough that an evolved Garo nearly broke his knuckles punching this dude gets further amplified, then gets shredded and erased from existence by a simple jab. This also means lower tier S-class like Tank Top Master and Pumped Up Metal Bat, who took more damage from Garo, would get one-tapped by an ultra-suppressed Darkshine. His power is comically exaggerated, even more so than people who should technically be stronger than he is, like Flashy Flash and Full Power Fang, in the way he so effortlessly annihilates his opponents. In his youth, Darkshine would always lose at games and sports, which made him lack confidence throughout his younger years. It was around this time he started lifting a light dumbbell, and after years of training, he reached the point he could curl tons in a single arm. His strength couldn't even be quantified, and the very idea of defeat was left in the past, along many other hype statements. His flawless victories in heroism and combat fostered ridiculous confidence, and he began searching for someone to test his new strength. For his first major display of power, he joins Genos' simulated combat test and dukes it out with Carnage Kabuto. Carnage Kabuto, even in his base form, was stated to be the strongest enemy in the series up to this point, including Vaccine Man and Beefcake. Darkshine fights him in his transformed state, Carnage mode, and beats him in 15 minutes. Many believe Darkshine used his full power here. However, that's a misunderstanding of what Darkshine actually said. Darkshine asked Genos if he could release his full power in the simulated reality because he didn't want to cause damage to the real world. However, Darkshine's motivation is to find a strong opponent. Even when fighting Garo with intent to unalive him, Darkshine held back his strength to test Garo. This is because even against Garo and the Monster Association, a possible threat to the entire world, Darkshine was still only interested in fighting strong opponents. After defeating Carnage Kabuto, Darkshine says he's pretty strong, but is still disappointed to hear he was the strongest monster in the simulation, showing that he was hoping to fight stronger monsters. During the Monster Association surface battle, Atomic Samurai and Ion are fighting Evil Natural Water, a cadre made entirely of water that Atomic Samurai can't think of any way to defeat. As Evil Natural Water goes to finish off Ion, Darkshine jumps in from completely off the panel and saves Ion. He then tanks the largest beam from Evil Natural Water we've seen so far, one-shots him, and compares him to a shower. This is insane as a durability and as a speed feat, and while I wouldn't argue Darkshine is faster than the Atomic Slash, does mean Darkshine should at least be able to keep up with people like Atomic Samurai. It also means Child Emperor, who got blitzed by a weaker Evil Natural Water, wouldn't be able to react to Darkshine at all. Even Black S can't hope to do anything to Darkshine, despite overwhelming many powerful heroes like Genos Atomic Samurai and Silver Fang in his base form. While you can argue most of these feats are matchup based, Darkshine does blatantly outclass Atomic Samurai against Psycho's Jet. While teaming up against Psychos, Atomic Samurai focuses his Atomic Slash into a concentrated attack, and while it does major damage, fails to completely chop Psychos in half. Then here comes Darkshine with his Superalloy Missile and blows a hole in Psycho's Jet body. At the very least, you can say Atomic Samurai thought the normal Atomic Slash wouldn't be enough and needed the concentrated slash to do any damage, whereas Darkshine blatantly kicked a hole through them. It's also more impressive than Drive Knight and Genos, who failed to do any serious damage even with their combined attacks. What makes this more impressive is that Darkshine isn't even sure if it's possible to damage himself. So if he's stronger than Atomic Samurai but can't hurt himself, he should logically be able to shrug off the Atomic Slash, as crazy as it sounds. And this is even somewhat supported later, as Darkshine's body surprisingly holds up a bit better to Fear Ugly's acid, where Atomic Samurai's sword is instantly melted. And mind you, most of these feats are all incredibly casual and suppressed, basically comparing high-tier cadres to little more than a shower. So, what is Darkshine's true strength? Darkshine comes face to face with Garo, who at this point is a beast. While totally unconscious, he bodies Puri Puri Prisoner, who is downright baffled by how strong Garo is, and didn't even think it was possible he could lose so badly. This is in stark contrast to how he saw Nyan, the cadre that gave Drive Knight a pretty hard time, as an opponent who would be unlucky to run into the other S-Class. That, alongside the fact Prisoner couldn't even stand back up from Garo's attack, proves Garo, even in his sleep, surpasses Nyan. This Garo can't even scratch Darkshine, and after getting bonked on the head, wakes up. While unconscious, Garo couldn't make full use of his abilities, and now is much stronger. This stronger Garo then gets instantly one-shot by Darkshine trying a little bit harder. Darkshine even counters and cancels out Garo's Water Stream Rock Smashing Fist defense, which had blocked a full barrage from Metal Bat and even horns from Orochi. Orochi's horn attacks were strong enough to one-shot Metal Knight's armored drone, a feat which caused Child Emperor to break into a cold sweat and fear Orochi entirely. Garo's Water Stream can block 8 of these at the same time, but can't block Darkshine's tackle, and not only that, but Darkshine shatters Garo's ribs as well, putting this tackle in a considerable tier. Garo of course gets back up, but Darkshine is still confident he can beat Garo with a single attack. I can't stress this enough, but this means Darkshine was able to one-shot someone who could even seriously pressure or defeat Drive Knight and Child Emperor while holding back. Even the Brave Giant would likely scale below this, seeing as Child Emperor originally planned on using Brave Giant to battle Orochi, but the destruction caused by Orochi's horn causes him to have second thoughts. So if these horns can even damage Brave Giant, it would logically follow Darkshine's casual tackles would turn Brave Giant into scrap metal. From there, Garo starts to evolve even beyond this, unconsciously fusing his techniques to use the Crossfang Dragon Slayer Fist, the highest level of skill in the verse so far, and Darkshine for the first time in his life feels the slightest inkling of defeat. He doesn't feel overwhelmed or surpassed, he feels the idea of defeat for an instant. In an act of desperation, Darkshine finally unleashes his full power that he's been hyping up this whole time, the Superalloy Bazooka, which Garo matches and surpasses. Darkshine warns the other heroes of Garo, telling them he thinks nobody can defeat him, not Atomic Samurai, Child Emperor, Pig God, or Zombie Man. Not even Tatsumaki comes up as a possibility, despite the many insane feats he's seen her perform. And while fighting this high-tier Garo, with his psyche and worldview crumbling around him, Darkshine takes almost no damage from Garo's combos, and is still able to tag him with a double Superalloy Bazooka. Doing so much damage, Garo is forced to regenerate. All in all, while Garo was stronger, the gap was not as huge as people make it out to be. The main reason it was so bad was because Darkshine didn't understand himself. As a worthy opponent, Garo seemed promising. However, deep down, Darkshine was terrified someone could defeat him. I explained this in my Silver Fang video, but One Punch Man characters often manifest their desires in some ironic twist of fate, and Darkshine is no exception. Have you ever wondered why Darkshine's most prominent trait is his durability and not his strength? It seems weird, right? Like, why not just focus on his strength? Why is there this strange focus on his toughness and durability? Darkshine wanted confidence. He wanted to win. He wanted to make up for the years as a child he'd spent losing. He'd powerlift to the point of eclipsing powerhouses like Drive Knight and Atomic Samurai. What he cultivated was an indestructible and unparalleled body that even Garo couldn't do that much to. As long as nobody could hurt him, his confidence and ego were shielded. As a hero, Darkshine is almost always shown as a bodyguard to the executives. He is closely associated with the cushy and somewhat corrupt association Big Shots. In that sense, you can imagine that his body is the shield of the hero world, which is why defeating him enlightened Garo to his ideal of terror. Darkshine represents the exact kind of hero Garo hates the most. He's conceited, he's overconfident. He's so self-absorbed to make up for his youth and being weak. After experiencing this terror, Darkshine is inspired once again to fight for himself after taking no damage from the top A-class hero, a Mime Mask. But this time, he doesn't experience terror literally, but the idea that his confidence can be stripped away from him in the form of Vomit Fear Ugly, whose acid melts his muscles away. Garo might have beaten Darkshine and scared him, but in the end, Darkshine still had his strength, but Vomit Fear Ugly was someone who can take his strength away from him. Immediately after this, he is shown that not only can his power be taken, but he is now obsolete. Golden S is both bulkier and shinier than Darkshine, the two aspects of himself that make him confident. He then gets one shot, proving he had definitively been surpassed. His confidence is basically shattered now, having faced defeat, lost his luster, and realized he is no longer the strongest around. I mean, he never was, but, you know. Of course, I can't discuss Darkshine without talking about Darkshine vs. Silver Fang, as per my video on the topic years ago and the sparring match between them. People take the sparring match to say Bang is definitively stronger, however Darkshine doesn't consider Bang a true rival in line with his character. The way it's explained, Darkshine fought Bang to test his skills to see if he was a worthy opponent, but not only does Darkshine not see it that way, Darkshine still sees himself as the undisputed best hand-to-hand fighter around. Bang apparently couldn't hurt Darkshine either, and Bang's feats in base aren't particularly impressive anyway, not even being able to one-shot human Garo. Consider that Garo himself evolved massively from that fight, and had strength on par with Darkshine, and also a technique that straight up surpasses the water stream entirely, and it's hard to say Bang would ever be able to scratch Darkshine, let alone give him a bloody nose like Garo did. Of course, none of this applies to full power Bang, who fought Monster Garo. I'm simply discussing Bang in his base form, which most people know him as. I find it hard to believe Bang would go max power in a sparring match to begin with. According to the narrator, Darkshine and Bang together are the twin pillars of the hero world, or that they reign over the world of hand-to-hand combat, which, depending on which translation you go with, to me, makes it seem like they are near in combat ability rather than one being way stronger. Darkshine's blatant superiority over Atomic Samurai and Bang's one-sided rivalry with him makes this seem more likely as well. Base Bang just manages to keep up with Darkshine's power with his hand-to-hand skill. However, I'd have to say I consider Darkshine superior to Base Bang overall, due to his ridiculous attack potency and durability. The fact he did much better against Black S and the fact that he still considered himself unstoppable after fighting Bang is very telling in my opinion. Honestly, don't you think if Base Bang was leagues above Darkshine, Darkshine would be scared out of his mind and wouldn't be so confident in himself? Overall, I think they'd be close in power, just Darkshine a bit stronger.